thanks for coming back for another episode of Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. We got a good show for you today. We're doing the sleepers in this year's draft. Some good ones, some lower ones. So there's some good stuff in there. So I'm Scott Plant. I'm your host for this lovely show today. I got some fantasy experts here, as we know. Tyler Spooner, three-time champion.
Yep.
All right. We got our second video ever here, and returning league champion, three-time champion overall. Dancing Rick, the flamboyant fish. You know?
I like that one. Dancing Rick, that's a good one.
So we got some good stuff for you guys today. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. We got some cool prizes coming up. We got a draft kit coming up sometime next week. We'll be announcing the winner, so make sure you start jumping on this league now on our Facebook discussion, and then make sure you subscribe to the video. Any questions, problems, email us, fantasyfootballwrapup@gmail.com. So we'd appreciate if you guys joined and have a good time. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We got a good show here. We got sleepers this year. Like the bus video that we did a couple days ago, there was a lot of them. I think there's a lot of sleepers here too. It's a really deep
There's
draft.
more sleepers than there are with busts, I think, personally.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of them this year. It's kind of a weird draft that there's so many of each.
I'm not getting into my sleepers. I'm not touching any of the rookies because we do have a rookie show coming up this week too.
Yeah.
We have a third one that we're going to launch.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to touch.
Days.
So anyone that doesn't hear rookies like Dalvin Cook, Fournette, don't worry. I'll get to those in a different video.
Yeah.
Just this one I strictly stayed to people that weren't rookies.
Yeah, check back in a couple of days, and we'll have that video up as well.
Yeah.
Any problems, just let us know. All right, so let's start with sleepers. Let's mix it up this time. You went first last time on our last video. Let's go with the flamboyant fish. Give me a couple of sleepers you got this year.
My number one, I get Eric Decker.
Yeah.
He's good.
I think that whole Tennessee team, I mean, you can put that whole team under a sleeper.
Defense too.
Defense too.
All right.
Our defense is good, and Ricky's right. They are a little underrated.
The Tennessee sleepers. Okay.
Yep.
I do like him. I do like Decker too. He was consistent with the Jets. I love him.
Yep, he had, he didn't play, he played 3 games last year.
Right,
He got hurt. Yeah, he had a hip injury.
Yep.
But out of those 3 games, the one game where he actually played, he went 6 for 126 on a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
He does produce.
Yeah. With the Jets, by the way.
Exactly.
With Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Captain
Yeah.
INT.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's productive.
The year before that, he played 15 games, so it's a lot,
He's always been healthy.
It's very consistent, yep.
Yeah.
The last 2 years prior to 16, he played 15 games.
Yep.
He had 130 targets in 2015, 80 catches,
Yep.
1,027, and 12 touchdowns.
And he's always been the 2.
Exactly,
He's never been the 1.
Yep. Yeah.
He still might keep that trend because who knows? Corey Davis could be the one there, and he could be right. He could be a sleeper too.
He could be.
And
Well, Matthews was good for you last year. He could be.
Yep.
I kinda like
Matthews
the
is
theory.
the odd man out, I think, in that offense. To be honest with you,
I don't know if the rookie overtakes him, but
I mean,
it's debatable.
maybe, as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But Corey Davis does have a hamstring injury.
Yeah,
which
you're right.
I know
I forgot
it's not really a
But they had.
serious injury.
Pretty sure he had injury concerns at college too. When he was in college, I'm pretty sure.
As a wide receiver, your job's to run.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
The hand is kind of important.
it's incredibly important. You need your hamstrings to run.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be like limping.
Right.
My next guy that I get is Alshon Jeffrey. I know.
As a sleeper?
I mean,
What?
I know some people
You know we
might not
already did the
like
bus
him.
video, right?
I actually took him off my bust list.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know what I did? I took him off my whole entire draft board.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
All right, give me why he's a sleeper. What do you got?
In 2013 and 14, right?
Okay.
He was with Marshall in
Right.
Chicago.
Right.
So that was a 1 and 2 combo. He didn't have the whole defense on him.
Sure.
He played 16 games.
Yep.
In one of the years he made the Pro Bowl.
Both years?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. In both years he played 16 games. So he was healthy. He made
Okay.
the Pro Bowl in one of them.
Yep.
He had over 140 targets both years.
Okay.
He had 85 plus receptions, both over 1,000 yards.
Are you going to sit there and say that Torrey Smith is going to be the second leading receiver on that team?
No, that's not where we're going with
No, but in the red zone,
Right.
you have Blunt who
It
was
was
great
Blunt
last year in
and
New England.
Right.
If
We don't know if that's going to carry over, though.
Yeah, but even if you have him in there,
Yeah.
what he did last
You got to
year,
respect it.
you have to respect it, which might
Yeah.
open up, for the 6'4" target
Could be.
on a fader or
Yeah, no,
something
you're right.
like that.
No, you're right.
You know, if it's one-on-one coverage,
You're right.
I like my chances of a guy who's 6'4".
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, within the 5-yard line.
Yeah, no question.
The
Colin
reason-
did too.
The reason why I took him off of the bust list is because Nelson Aguilar the last few days has, I guess, looked insane in practice. And
Right.
Even Nelson Aguilar. So
Yeah,
the more, I mean,
they say he's going to win the
spread it
slot
out.
job. So Torrey Smith's outside, like you guys said, he's got to be covered. So
Yep.
Alshon Jeffrey's probably going to see most of the coverage, but
Yeah.
he's proven he can beat that even in Chicago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
You know, with Jay Cutler throwing to him. So
Yeah.
I mean, you got Carson Wentz. I'm big on Carson Wentz. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
But
I like Wentz.
yeah. We'll see. He had a bad team last year too. He didn't have much help.
I mean, I guess any
He had no running game.
don't like Alshon Jeffrey. You guys don't, but
Yeah,
you could go.
I've had him and he's burned me.
You could go bust. So it's you know it's all up in the air.
But that's interesting. I don't see a lot of people mention his name as a safety.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this. You can kind of go in multiple different ways. You know, Tyler, give me a few guys. What you got?
All right, so I'm going to start with the person that took over for him in Chicago because I think Cameron Meredith could be a huge sleeper this year.
Okay.
Not
That's gonna
talked
depend
about
on
very
the
often
situation.
unless you.
What's that?
What did you say?
So that's gonna depend on their rookie QB situation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's going to get the targets, and he's the only guy there. I mean, I don't even know if
Yeah.
Eddie Royal's still there or who else their
Right.
receivers are, but they
Right.
don't. It's not like they're dropping with talent. It's Jordan Matthews and it's Cameron Meredith.
Right.
The ones that I know that are there.
Yeah.
So I
Ain't
think
much else.
I think he's going to see, the target volume to produce and be able to make him into a not number one. Because don't get me wrong, he's not going to give you guys number one production. He's not
we're
going to
talking
wide receiver
flex
two.
or
Yeah.
something like
You're
that.
looking wide receiver 3 on the low end if you
Right.
play 3 receivers,
Right.
or maybe a flex.
Right. Bye week fill in.
So his ADP is, I've seen him going in the 9th and 10th round, and you can get a receiver that's the number one on a team in that spot.
That's true.
So
It's all about opportunities and targets.
he's more likely to give you something on your return.
Yep.
You draft him with a 10th, he's probably going to give you 7th round numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe 6th round if he has a good season.
Right.
Whereas in the past, we've talked about on the other show,
Right.
where there's players, we didn't mention them, but there's somebody like Deshaun Jackson,
Right.
who's being taken in the 4th or the 5th,
Right.
is never going to produce that numbers.
He'd have to have an amazing season.
And
That's
same
his
same
age,
with what we
and-
said in the last one with Mike Evans.
Right.
I take him at 9. It's going to be hard for him to get the numbers he had last year with the amount of weapons that are on that offense.
Yeah.
now.
2 tight ends. All that.
So
Yeah.
that's why Cameron Meredith for me is going to be a sleeper this year. I
Okay.
got a quarterback that is my favorite quarterback last year, and I couldn't get him because the person never checked his team and wouldn't trade one of those deadbeat owners. So
Deadbeat owners.
So Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins,
Yeah.
not mistaken for Kurt Cousins, but
That's a good
Kirk Cousins
Boy, that's a good one.
is a quarterback that threw almost 5,000 yards last year.
Over 4,530 touchdowns.
Yeah.
For the past 2 years, that's what he
I
averages.
know. He's almost 10,000 yards in 2 seasons. That's like Drew Brees numbers.
Right.
I
And
mean,
he's like the 8th, 9th, 10th rated quarterback.
and
Unbelievable.
he gets a real number one this year. Terrell Pryor,
Mhm.
I think, was going to translate into another number one receiver.
Right.
I think Terrell Pryor, I'm super high on. I didn't put him on the sleepers list because I think everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's going, late second, mid third in that range
Yeah.
in some of these drafts, so I didn't put him on the list. But
That's
I think he
amazing.
can return more on a value than Dez can. So I think you could get better numbers out of Terrell Pryor than Dez Bryant this year.
Wow.
And I'm not joking about that. So that,
wow. All right.
that's what, and that's because of the quarterback solely. He mentioned the other one. Dak Prescott could take the step back. Kirk Cousins could elevate, and that's scary.
Yeah,
He could go into Drew Brees.
Elliott's not missing 16 games here.
We're not saying he is,
Jesus
but
Christ.
all I'm saying is this
Holy
team
cow.
has Crowder,
Right.
who's I don't have him on my sleeper list. I'm not a big fan because I'm a big
Right.
Pryor guy.
Right. I love
But-
Crowder.
But
I did too. I did
We
last
love
year.
Crowder, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Jordan,
probably sleeper on my
Jordan
list.
Reed's on that team. He's very effective when he's on the field.
Yeah.
Vernon Davis, solid backup tight end. So
Sure.
if
Absolutely.
Reed's out, then you
Sleep-
have Vernon Davis.
Sleeper tight end, really, because
Yeah.
Jordan Reed's going to go down.
And then you have Josh Doxson, who they drafted last year. And he's
I'm
going to
not
play the
high on
slot.
Yeah, he's.
I'm not high on him. I'm just saying they have the weapons. They have the speed.
They have the potential
have-
for all those.
exactly.
ones. Yeah.
Makes
So,
Cousins
I
great.
agree.
Kirk Cousins didn't have this. He had Pierre Garçon last year.
1,000
Don't
yards.
mistake it.
Yeah.
Terrell Pryor will demolish those numbers that he
Yeah.
had this year.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get 6 or 7 touchdowns. You'll probably get 8 to 12
Yeah. Well,
in that range.
right.
So
Cousins is great because
Cousins
of
for
those
me
things.
is a huge sleeper because of where you get him.
Right.
Round 9, 10
Yep.
is where he's going.
Yep.
And you're getting him in the likes of Ben Roethlisberger in the
Right.
same rounds.
Right.
You're talking about Dak Prescott's going 2 or 3 rounds before him. Isn't even going to come close to the production that he gives you.
Right.
So if you're looking for a strategy, wait on your quarterback and just take Kirk Cousins in round 9 or 10. We talked about him in past videos.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that too.
So-
Stuff like that. Give me a guy that's late in the draft that people aren't really thinking of.
I'd go with. Well, I had Martavius Bryant as another sleeper I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I had him. Before we
Late
started
in the
that.
draft, to answer your questions, Duke Johnson.
Okay.
Cleveland.
Oh, running back, I love it.
All right.
Not many running backs that you're going to find that late in the draft,
Right.
but he may be that rare guy that we seen last year with Ty Montgomery.
Yep.
He might get the wide receiver tag put on him
Yep.
because he's going to be on their depth chart as a slot receiver.
Right.
So that ESPN or all other sites, whatever you
Yeah,
use,
Yahoo will adjust it.
they adjust it.
Yeah.
So after a few weeks, you'll be able to play him and give flexibility.
Right.
And I've owned him in a few leagues last year. He's actually pretty good in PPR leagues.
Yeah, he got better last year.
He does catch like 6 balls a game.
Sure.
That's what he was doing. So,
Sure.
I mean, they needed a slot receiver. He could step in. I'm
Right.
not sold. And you guys know from watching, I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I
Yep.
can't stand Deshaun Kaiser.
Yep.
So I'm praying he doesn't get the job because then
That could
my
affect
argument,
that drastically.
my argument is toast. Don't draft him if he's
Well, they
there.
got Osweiler. I don't know how much worse you could get.
I would go with Osweiler over Deshaun Kaiser.
All right, that's an
But that's just
interesting
me.
pick.
That's a very interesting pick.
Yeah. So I got a couple late ones. I mean, you guys will know. We'll see. And this is for PPR only. These guys are not going to help you in standard.
Yeah.
But our boy Theo Riddick in Detroit.
Yeah, love Theo
I mean,
Riddick.
how many times did me, you, Dan do wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver? Theo Riddick, Giovanni Bernard.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those guys just get us 10 to 15 points a week, and our wide receivers will dominate.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
last year with trades, people would be like, who you want for Theo Riddick? There were legitimate people that
Yeah.
said you don't have enough to get at one point.
You get him so late. His value. He's not David Johnson. Don't miss.
No, but he's
Yeah.
gonna get you 15 consistently because
Right.
he's 6 for 70 yards and he'll run for 10 or 15.
Right.
He'll pop a touchdown in there.
As
There's
long as he's not
25
playing
points.
Minnesota, he is a
Yeah.
lock in our league for 15 points. If
Yeah,
you're
he
a point
is.
per reception, per reception, check him out.
Oh,
I
definitely.
mean, he's a late round steal. John Brown's another guy I know is on your list that you like.
I love John Brown this year. He was sick all last year. I think it was sickle cell. is that
Sickle
what it
cell,
was?
yeah.
And
They kind of
all
figured it out.
Yeah, and they
Now.
said in camp now, he looks better than Fitzgerald right now,
Mm.
like physically.
Mm.
So that's insane if you're in better shape
Right.
than Fitzgerald.
Well, Fitzgerald's got that walker with the tennis ball things out there.
I know,
so it's harder.
but he's still working harder than anyone. So
He is.
if you
That is
can-
true.
Yeah.
So even if he's
Maybe
in
another
better
guy that
shape-
could be a sleeper. He had 107 catches last
Led
year.
the
No,
league.
no one even talks about it.
But what do you call
Right.
it? If John Brown gets to be the number 2 receiver, and like we all think he will.
Yeah, JJ Nelson didn't take it.
Yeah.
No.
So in that offense, it's a vertical offense. He a couple years ago, he was burning defenses.
He was good.
He was
He was
going.
good in our league.
He was Brandon Cook's style.
That's a good comparison.
Not that
2
he
years
caught
ago.
78 balls or 80
Right.
balls.
But he was a deep
but
threat.
He was a deep threat. I remember playing in him in one game. He had 2 40-yard touchdowns in that game. But yeah, no, John Brown, I think he comes right back into being relevant this
Right.
year. But one of the guys I really, really, really wanted to hit on for a sleeper because he does go earlier, but nobody out there really puts him on their draft board because how injured he's been.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Keenan Allen, if he is healthy,
Yep.
if he played all 16 games last season,
Right.
he's going ahead of Mike Evans in this draft.
He's going ahead of Julio. He's going ahead.
I don't know about Julio, but he's up there with them.
I would take him over Julio.
Well, the one year that the year he got the heart or chest issue, whatever issue
That was
he
only
missed.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
he
2
ruptured
years
his
ago.
spleen.
Yeah.
Ruptured his spleen.
I had him that
That's
year.
what it was.
Yeah, 6
Yeah.
or 7 games.
Well, you had him that year, then you would know. For the beginning of that season, he was out catching
Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
He was
Yeah.
at
By
like
3.
25, 30 points. Those
Every
games he
week.
played.
Monster.
And then he got
Every
hurt,
week.
and it just
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a
But-
monster. He's a catch machine. That in
Yeah.
Rivers, that's all he does. He
does.
It's like Patriots with Brady and Gronk. It's Rivers to Allen. If
So,
that one ain't open,
yep.
then he'll go
This
somewhere
is why I
else.
like him so much. The upside on him, he could be a top 5 to 7 pick, and you're getting him in the early 3rd in a lot of drafts, or late 3rd, sometimes the 4th. And if you can get a return investment as a first-round grade, if he plays a full 16 games,
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns out of him.
If you got a fourth or fifth round spot that you just don't like someone, he would be the guy I would gamble on. Forget about these other guys
No,
like
it's
Allen
not only
Robinson,
that. Take him
Mary
over
Thomas.
Cooks. Take him over Cooks. Take him over
I don't know if I'm
Robinson.
sold there, but
I would take him over Cooks, Robinson, Hopkins, all these guys late in the third or early in the third. He's going to give you better numbers.
it's a little too risky for me. You can still get good value there.
Yeah.
I don't think you could do it there, but I do like him because you're right. His upside to me, I think he'd be top 3 wide receiver.
He's my favorite player in this draft. And I can guarantee you I'll have him because I'm going to take him earlier than other people.
Yeah, you will. Cause
I'm going to take him in the third round.
That's
So if you guys want him, he's going to your team before the third round.
He's
so.
not.
And that's why he lost the championship last season.
Yeah,
So
what did he
who did
say?
he lose to?
How many do you have?
Right here.
How many do you have?
Right here.
How many do you have?
It's what is most recent is what counts.
Oh, yeah,
This,
I forget.
This is in my possession.
I forget.
That's all that matters to me right
Why
now.
it's on that side of the table.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. What do you got? You got anybody else there?
I have Sterling Shepard
Okay.
as a late round.
Finally, people come around.
Oh, Jesus. You know this ain't the bus show, right? This is the sleeper show.
Listen.
Look, our fans want the truth. We speak the truth here.
A lot of the times these mock drafts that I do, he's either undrafted or the last couple picks.
14th, 13th round, absolutely.
They see Marshall there and they see OBJ there, and they think 1, 2. There's no room for anyone else.
Right.
I don't think Marshall was like that anymore.
Okay.
3 years ago, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about taking Shepard.
Yeah,
I had
absolutely.
Shepard last year. He was more of a number 2 in targets
Yeah,
last
no,
year.
he was good for you last year.
If they had, I didn't really have a running game last year.
No.
I don't really think as much.
And I don't think they'll have one this year either.
So-
Jennings didn't do anything last year.
Yeah.
He had it
No.
for a bit for a couple of games.
Stop taking shots at Paul Perkins. What's wrong?
What has Paul Perkins done?
What hasn't he done?
Oh, Jesus.
He's an unknown.
I don't know. Have 1,000 yards receiving,
Well,
1,000 yards rushing,
maybe-
5 touchdowns.
You know
I don't
what?
know. I can make a
Maybe
list.
he'll come out. Maybe he'll come out and go 1,000 yards rushing and receiving and blow the world away.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
All of a sudden he's
But-
David Johnson and Roger Craig.
No, I was just making a point. I was just taking the other side.
Yeah, I do like Shepard though too. He was good
Yeah.
for you last year in PPR especially. If,
Yeah.
if it's a standard league, I don't know if I like him there as much, but PPR, yeah, he's definitely a good one.
Eli has a rapport with him too, so that's a little bit more important than Brandon Marshall.
No,
Brandon
absolutely.
Marshall's got to learn the system, get the timings down.
Exactly.
He already
Yeah.
knows
I
everything.
know, he's pretty smart. I'm a little higher on Marshall than you are. I probably have Marshall how you look at Shepard, but
Marshall's off my draft board, so you definitely have him higher than me.
Yeah,
I'm not taking him no matter where.
yeah, no, and I
That's
like
just
what his
me.
ADP is to me. That's why he's not a sleeper for me
Yeah.
because people have got him I see him in the 6th round a lot. When we first started doing mock drafts a few months ago, I mean, I seen him in round 9, round 10. Where I seen Pryor that I was eyeing, now Pryor shot up the board.
Yeah, ridiculous.
A couple other guys.
Deservingly so.
I'll tell you the guy you mentioned before, I know he's on your list that you talk about, is Tyrell Williams of the St. David Chargers.
He's good.
He's another guy, as long as he's not facing
The
Denver
buddy
defense,
system.
is a
The
monster.
buddy system. You could have him and Keenan Allen get every touchdown that they catch.
You can.
Yep.
You can.
Yep.
If you draft Gordon as well, you can get every touchdown San Diego scores.
Yeah,
Almost.
almost. But
I mean,
what
that's to a tight end.
I would do
But if you look at Williams when he doesn't play, if you take the 2 Denver games out, and I know you shouldn't be able to take those 2 because he struggles against Denver. You said
everybody
that.
does. Though.
Keenan Allen's
Not
probably
Kansas
going to get hurt. Not Kansas. It's only Denver. He is good
Yeah.
against Kansas City. He
He
is
is.
good against the Raiders. He's good against everybody else. He will be really consistent for you. He will score you some touchdowns. And he's a late, like we're talking 11, 12, 13th round.
Yeah.
Whether he moves up the boards recently now that the rookie wide receiver got hurt.
Mike Williams.
No, is that the thing of Mike Williams? I thought
That's
it was
it,
the
so-
other guy. Yeah, Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I haven't heard if he's going to be out for the year or not.
They haven't said that yet.
I know he's got
been
back
conflicting
problems,
stories.
so,
Some people say, "Oh, he'll be ready for week
Right.
1," and then some people say he's not playing.
Right, you get him around 10 plus, and then if Allen goes down, you got the #1 receiver on that team.
Yep.
Well, he's definitely a handcuff guy.
Yeah.
You want it.
Yeah,
He's definitely a handcuff guy.
It's very rare to find handcuffs at receivers
Yeah.
because mostly
I
that
think he's a
applies to
solid
running
number 2,
backs.
to tell you the truth.
But if you get him and Keenan Allen goes down,
Right.
you're gonna get 1,000 yards out of him.
Right.
That's just that's what he did last year. And
Yep.
I know he was targeted a ton. He didn't have a great ratio to catch and targets, but he got the numbers at the end of the day. So
Yep.
he was week in and week out better than a flex player.
Yep.
So I mean, he moved. You could have got him, Michael Thomas last year. All these
Yeah.
people that nobody knew.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, nobody knew. And they'll be
now-
this year. There'll be a Michael Thomas this year.
But think of the
Every year
difference.
there's
I
a
use
guy.
Michael Thomas because I love Michael Thomas, but think of the difference
Overrated.
between those two.
Yep.
Think of the difference between those two last season. I don't know the exact numbers on the fantasy points in our league,
Yeah.
but I'm assuming they were within 50 points of each other.
Yeah.
And you're getting him 10 rounds later.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if it's within 50, but it was
Well,
It's closer.
It might have been closer. It might have been closer.
Well,
to
no, I don't think it's closer
because
to 50, but it's not that far away. I bet it's probably similar.
Actually, it has to be closer because I think Michael Thomas in our league had 250 something points because you rub that on my face all the time.
Yeah.
And then I want to say he was in the 210, 212 range.
Yeah, in our league.
that for Tyrell Williams. So you're really only losing 40 points.
Well, I traded for him, and I think when I traded for him, I was trying to trade him for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And when I took out the 2 Denver games, in our league, he was averaging right around 19 to 20 points a week. That came down when I put in the 2 Denver games because then we had like a catch or two.
Yeah.
He struggles there, but to me, he was a solid number 2 last year. He's a little underrated this year, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think he's a nice later.
So Michael Thomas had 264 last year in our league, and Tyler Williams had 235.
235. So it's not
235.
and you're getting him 10 rounds later, and if Keenan Allen goes down, you have a guy that's going to be able to be a top 3 round pick.
Yeah, because if Keenan Allen does go down, I don't know if he gets 235.
No, he probably doesn't.
If he does, that means Gordon ends up being a bust.
But your 10th round pick is worth the risk.
Oh.
It's an insurance policy.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think Zay Jones is very underrated. What was his numbers last year?
Last year at East Carolina, he had 158 receptions, 1,746 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
And how many games was it? Does
He
it
had
say?
12 games.
12 games, 1,700 yards, and $150.
And 158 receptions in 12 games.
Jesus. I know he played at a small school, but a lot of people play at a small school and don't put up that production.
Exactly.
So he could be a...
I mean, if you look at Buffalo, they don't have big names.
Right.
Like, their quarterback's Tyrod Taylor.
And he throws a great deep ball.
He is good, but, he's no,
Aaron Rodgers.
Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, the big names, Phillip Rivers.
Right.
He's not a big name guy. So he's a small guy who's from a small school going to a small team.
I agree.
I think he should do exceptionally well over there.
Yeah,
I
me too.
totally
I
agree
agree
with that.
Yeah, and you probably don't even have to draft him. He's probably going to be a free agent in most leagues.
Yep.
Unless you're watching this show. Guys, that's our sleeper show. Thanks for joining. Again, make sure you check us out on Facebook. Join our group, Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. We got some cool prizes. Like I said, we got the draft kit we're going to be giving away. Autographed Jordan Reed jersey before the start of the season will be given away as well. Check us out. Any problems, email us fantasyfootballwrapup@gmail.com. We're out. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.